So, Rogue One's out, and it's a pretty good movie. Disney is obviously doing everything it can to try to recreate the magic of the original trilogy for us. And with billions of dollars on the line, you can't blame them. With Episode 7, you could even feel the pressure the filmmakers were under. So much so that they copied large parts of A New Hope just to be safe. But Rogue One is more original and works well enough. But yet, we see the same pattern of negative reactions. Obviously, this is a case of high expectations. But why are they so high? And is it even possible to meet them? Well, that's today's topic. The new Star Wars films are trying to live up to probably the greatest pieces of mass entertainment ever made. The results make that clear. But if you notice by what we talk about here, the original Star Wars trilogy comes up constantly as an example of how to do things right. We're talking about the ending, the causing ideas, the scale, the villain, the look and design of the world, and even more that we haven't gotten to. And on top of that, the special time that they came along in their audience's lives, and the role they've played for that audience in the real world pushed them even further. The original Star Wars trilogy is, almost literally, the Michael Jordan of movies. But now, that same level of quality has become a burden to the new filmmakers. Like we've said, you could get a new house and be disappointed if you expected a castle. But it's beyond even that, because great movies don't lend themselves to sequels. They work off of changes to people's lives and societies that get their power exactly from how permanent they are. In other fields, a great player paves the way for others, who can follow that template. But in movies, the same formula can't be used, and even if it is, it cannot produce the same result. But that doesn't mean that the same magic cannot happen. And here's how. First, the story would have to use a new setup. The universe could be the same, but the characters and conflict would have to be something new. A fresh situation with different people who can learn their own new life lessons that fit naturally to them.
Don't be in a rush to try to find the next Michael Jordan. It's not going to be another Michael Jordan. Times are different, games different. They're going to create their own thing.
But that alone is not enough. The WWE, for example, had a huge run in the 1980s with Hulk Hogan, then tried to find someone new to take that role for years without success. It almost bankrupted them, until they realized something else. And that is that their fan base had gotten older. The people who had that special connection were not children anymore. And they made more mature content, which hit those kids, now young adults, perfectly, and caused them to have a second wave of popularity and break records. Likewise, we, the fans of Star Wars, are not the same people that we were when we saw the original movies. Even the people who watched Return of the Jedi were older than when they saw A New Hope. So, to have the same effect, that new story will have to deal with more mature issues to hit us in the same deep way. But the truth is that that is a huge risk. That same fresh start with more adult sensibilities that would hit our cravings so much also has a strong risk of failing. Like any new story, there are far more ways to mess something up than to get it right. And so, with all the money and emotions invested, Disney is instead choosing to go small and safe instead of gambling big. But maybe that's the smart choice. You tell me.